Hi everyone, welcome back. Sorry it's been so long since I've done a video, but let's just say it's been a couple of chaotic years. So what am I doing today? Well, I was going to do some bases for some figures back along. These guys, base. Um, I got some mini putt out and discovered it was knackered. It was ancient and it would not work. So I would dig through and I found some plumber's putty that I've had for ages, picked up in a bargain bin. I've seen people try it before and haven't had much luck. So I've had a little play, and I think it is a viable option. So here's my video on how to use it. So let's get down to the table. Cheers. Right, so we're going to look at some plumber's putty. So just got this tube of putty, just grey and then like a more of a lighter grey on the outside. I've broken a piece off already, and you just work it in your fingers. A rough idea of the size. Use gloves, otherwise you put fingerprints in it as well as making your fingers mucky. So just sort of work this to the base size. Don't worry about lumps too much at the moment, we'll sort that out in a minute. Just give it a little roll. See, use the tub, comes in useful. Just put that around, get that out of the way. And right, trick now, because this stuff is more tacky than what we're used to, is we'll give it a good, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, 5 minutes. Just let the air get to it a little bit. I've still got a couple of little marks I don't want there. It's alright, we'll get rid of that in the detail. So stick that to one side. What I'm going to use is one of these rollers. I've seen them before, 3D print them. They're available on my Facebook page. Just give us a shout. Various options. They do fit on a roller, but to be honest, in this instance, it's such a small area, I'll just do it by hand. So I'm gonna go and stick the kettle on, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes. Right, we've left it for about 3 minutes, so I'm just going to pick apart this roller I want to use. Probably that part there. You can only need a fair bit of pressure. Over you go. So, yeah, not too bad. As it's meant to be broken, I'm going to try it again. I'm just after like broken rock, stones type effect. Just a couple of times different ways. It doesn't matter for a base. I'm actually not doing a path or anything. So I think I can get away with that. And before it sets, if you just grab a knife, just come down the base. So don't cut towards you, but I can't seem to cut away. Just do it gently, work your way around. Just using the edge of the base of the guide. Just work my way around. You see it's toughened up quite quickly compared to what it was. Probably about 3 minutes would have been better. Just finding how hard you want it when you want to work on it. So it all depends what you're doing. Sand it anyway afterwards, tidy up a bit more. So we let that dry. Right, I've given it a spray with some black primer, just some cheap car primer, cheap brush, cheap crafting paints. I'm just going to pick out a couple. It's be a challenge from my side, doing it at a distance. Right, so we have a base. I played with a few colours. I've decided to go cream in between. Obviously, it looks a bit bitty at the moment. So the best way to bind things together is always a wash. So I'm just going to use Agrax, Agrax shade wash. Just whack that on heavily. Maybe a little bit heavier than I intended. Just want that to go in between. Darken up the cream as well. And get some of the textures to come out. Right, there we go. So we'll let that settle. It'll take quite a while to dry. It's quite thick. Take out a little bit of the pool in places. Bring it down. Just wipe the brush off and just touch and it draws it out. Right, I did film the next bit of dry brushing it, and unfortunately the file corrupted. And as I haven't developed a technique of undry brushing, all I can do is show you what we've got. So here we go. Here's the finished article. That doesn't look too bad. Dry brushed and varnished. It's nice and hard. So what's the verdict? Would I use plumber's putty? Yes. Would I go out and buy a big tub? No. Would I have a look in the bargain bins? Most definitely. Walking around one of the pound shops, probably the £1.50 shops these days, and slip one in the basket and have it as an emergency backup. Pros and cons. You can't use water to smooth it as such because it's waterproof, i.e. plumber's putty. Advantage though, stick it on, give it a few minutes to toughen up a little bit, get your texture in it. Within about 15 minutes, you're all good to go and get your paint on and get it finished. So a lot quicker than stuff like midi putt and green stuff that you leave overnight. So definitely recommend it. I think that pretty well ties up this video. I was aiming to do a few this week, but it just hasn't happened with life. I think most of us are suffering the same thing. So what I say is keep crafting, pick those little 5 minutes here to keep your hand in. It's a slow slog, but you're moving forward. Work on those projects. Get that pile of shame out and start picking on something. As you can hear, here's the distractions I've been having. Um, family, love them to bits. And I have to get James involved sometime because he's been the noisy one you can hear because he's been doing a lot with his Tyranids. And Alex's been doing some stuff with his Necrons. So they're getting back into it, which is great. Right, I'm going to tie up and I will see you all soon. So you take care, stay safe, and hope to see you in a new video fairly soon. Cheers!